The most out of touch event ever by Rebal D. Well, I am concerned. Usually I'm concerned. By the way, is he going to be harassed by Asmongold again? And by Asmongold, I mean a roach. Anyways, we'll go. We'll look.
Oh my god, I just got an invite to a ball. Do you want to be my +1? You've been cordially invited to Brain Tumor Ball.
Brain Tumor Ball? Where is this going?
What is this? Is this a fundraiser or a Halloween? What, are we dressing up as brain tumors? You can't make it? I didn't even tell you what day it was.
I think so. He's outside. Good. Last time he was attacked by a cockroach. It's crazy. It was so funny. I don't like where this is going. I know it's going somewhere that I don't like.
What are you, booked and busy?
Yeah, this one's booked and busy. What? You of all people. You busy. Oh, this one's got things to do.
You're hiding something from me. Whatever, you can't make it to the brain tumor ball. Okay, there's always dementia.
So is that a ball where people with brain tumors go? Is that what it is?
Disco.
Dementia disco? What?
Stroke soiree on Sunday.
What? Huh?
How about schizophrenia salsa night?
Yo, that's just chat. That's just chat. that's just chat at this point. That's my chat.
No? Okay, how about breast cancer party?
Breast cancer party. Well, the flat-chested women are not invited, that's for sure.
Yeah, they all sound diabolical. But one of them is very real. Breast cancer party. Breast cancer party. No, not like symbolically. Not like the pink ribbon gala. No, it's literally translated breast cancer party. It wasn't thrown by some kind of like chaotic frat house. Okay, it was hosted by W Korea, a high fashion magazine that thought it would be a magnificent idea to invite the country's biggest celebrities, from K-pop idols to drama stars, to what they called a breast cancer party. Dear attendee.
Literally. It's a breast cancer party. But why? Guests allowed? I don't know. Like, what does that mean? If you don't have breast cancer, you can't go there?
You have been cordially invited to breast cancer party. Kind regards. This wasn't the first gala or event they hosted. No. W Korea Magazine's Love Your W event happens every year for the last 2 decades. It's one of the bigger events on Seoul's social calendar. It happens every October, which coincides with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So the flashing lights, the designer dresses, the super sponsors, and the solemn speeches were woven together under one pretext: supporting a noble cause. All good for the past 20 years.
Yeah, I feel like that is not where this is going. I am almost convinced that this is not going to be about breast cancer.
But this time was bad. So bad, the second you click on the W Korea official website, you get slapped with an
apology. What happened?
Apology letter right across the face. The Korean public, the internet as well, always sensitive to the symbolism of health campaigns, did not forgive the frivolity. Some guests were shit-faced, passing out tips. Everyone had to hold a glass of alcohol, which, by the way, is one of the modifiable risk factors for breast cancer.
The more alcohol you drink, the greater your risk of developing breast cancer. So they were essentially doing anything but speaking for breast cancer patients. That's interesting.
TikTok challenges and J Park performing "Shake Your Ass for Me" on stage. Awareness speeches playing over lingerie ads. "Shake Your Ass for Me" on stage. Awareness speeches playing over lingerie.
Why exactly? Also, quality so bad, this looks just like a naked butt.
Ads, of course. Luxury sponsors everywhere. That's the goal, though, of a gala. Right? You know.
Glam, shine, luxury, donations.
Why are you throwing these in so shortly? I need to see them.
Donations.
Korea faces backlash over breast cancer donation discrepancy. Magazine claimed 1.1 billion won donations, but records show 350 million over 17 years. Wait, it's not a naked. No, it's not a naked butt. You could show this on YouTube though.
Donations.
You need to stop showing them so shortly so I can. Dispatch bombshell expose. Love Your W charity under fire as donations numbers don't seem to add up. Did they swallow the funds? Yes, they did. Sorry, what were you guys asking? Cricket was asking how basically your opinion on Shawshank Redemption, Silence of the Lambs, and Leon the Professional, since you are our movie expert.
No donations. Oh, okay. So no funds for the fundraiser.
I'm not gonna stop and read them at this point. You put them in too quickly. Simply put, they're not giving people. They're not donating anything. They're not donating shit.
Is there? Okay. Welcome to W Korea's Love Your W Gala, where awareness met alcohol got drunk on itself. Love Your W, but W doesn't stand for women, it stands for whiskey. Alright, so let's see what this breast cancer party actually looked like, because I swear, if I describe it to you, you'll think I'm exaggerating. Figures of all genres and generations paraded before photographers on the carpet. Yuna and Yeji from ITZY, Kazuha and Shaiwan, Monsta X, Girls' Generation, Big Bang, BTS, that's the name almost everybody knows. Jake and Songhoon as well from ENHYPEN. Yeah, J Park, Jeonsomi, aespa. You know, many names that any K-pop fan would recognize right away. Epic event. Everything was...
I have never heard of these people except BTS. That's it. That's it. I've never heard of these people. The rest. No names. Nobody cares.
It's perfect. Except for the small tiny detail. A little, you know, I don't want to be that guy, but no one seemed to remember why they were there. I'm not going to talk about any of the guests for now. Netizens online are already tearing them apart. It's shifting the focus from what I think really matters. The organizers. Their event, Love Your W, is an aware...
I mean, if you are a woman that goes there, I'm gonna be honest, the guys not so much. Like, it's cool, I guess, but I think, like, if you're a woman and you go there, this gala, this event is about you, and you don't know why you're here.
Awareness event, not just a fundraiser, definitely not a frat party. You're supposed to be educating, you're raising awareness, and you're raising funds with champagne trays, neon lights, idols dancing, J Park singing, Dyson, guests holding glasses, drinks. Yeah, this is a cancer awareness event where alcohol is the main accessory, TikTok the principal activity, and the cause, lost in translation.
Yeah, that is clearly a top tier anti-cancer event. Top tier Dyson. Wait, isn't Dyson isn't that a vacuum cleaner? Am I stupid? Am I confusing something? Anyways, I'm still questioning though. Once again, there should have not been alcohol there.
Somewhere between a Gucci logo and a Moet bottle. Wait, there's nothing here that's pink.
As a breast cancer survivor and a longtime K-pop fan, there's so many things that were crossing my mind as I saw the videos of the W Korea breast cancer awareness event. Nowhere in this event was there any form of pink.
No, because pink would be symbolism to the breast cancer.
I feel like there was not even much talk about breast cancer in general. Bro, men can have it as well. The likelihood is less obviously. I am aware, which is why I'm saying if the women don't know why they're there, the men especially don't know. Which is why even as a woman, it affects you more. You should probably know why you're there. Yes, it's a vacuum cleaner. Sure. Maybe they're using vacuum cleaners to suck out the cancer with the vacuum cleaner immediately.
They wouldn't. Why would we do that? No, that is not what the sponsors want. Let's start with the champagne, because apparently breast cancer prevention pairs great with sparkling wine. According to who? Not who. Who? The World Health Organization. That flat out called alcohol one of the biggest risk factors for breast cancer. Ooh, so picture this. You walk into an event meant to raise awareness for breast cancer. Before you even get your name tag, they hand you a glass of champagne. Not water, not juice, not even symbolic pink lemon.
Maybe we all have misunderstood the party. It's not a breast cancer party against breast cancer. It's a party where you get breast cancer. We misunderstood. I think we just misunderstood, guys. We misunderstood. You get breast cancer there. At this point, Dyson is anything but vacuum cleaners. It's a brand. It's kind of rough if your brand is only known for vacuum cleaners, though. Next thing you know, Dyson coming with bras. Dude, if like, that's an immediate turn off. That's like immediate breakup if you see like your girl wear a Dyson bra. Why wearing a vacuum cleaner bra? Only one person talked about the awareness thingy, and she was the youngest girl there. Yeah, cooked.
Lemonade. Now, champagne. Moet Champagne, the sponsor of the event. You can't make this shit up. Okay? This alcohol brand has sponsored their breast cancer prevention awareness event, as tagged on their Instagram stories profusely. Sponsors are very important to W Korea. Okay. More important than anything. More important than cognitive dissonance. In fact, in the same event last year, actress Park Bo-young was supposed to appear in the full-body sort of photo shoot that they traditionally have with all the sponsors. But the sponsoring brand stockings they provided were not in her size, and so she couldn't put them on. W Korea, following very strict policy about dressing their guests in completely sponsored outfits, banned her from appearing in.
Wait. So they provided her clothes that don't fit and they banned her for her not fitting in the clothes. Yeah. Sure. You go to Dyson's shop. It feels like you are in the jewelry store. I just want a vacuum cleaner, not a diamond ring. Next up, Dyson car. Dyson vacuum cleaner car. Makes sense. Come to my party, get the cancers for free.
Those full-body photo shoots that she was scheduled for. Now, instead, they had to crop her pictures. Boo-hoo, who cares, right? Not a big deal. Right, yeah, but it tells you something. It tells you about the way W Korea thinks. You're more of a commodity than a human being. Park Bo-young, or just a mannequin for my sponsor. Sponsor comes first! Sponsor comes first. Of course. For the charity, right? The charity. It's a charity. They think it's. Who said anything? That's what they think it is. It's a. Back to the champagne. Apparently, having that drink in their hand was not optional. Multiple guests said that Steph had instructed them to, quote, "Don't ever be without a glass." Like,
don't ever be without a glass. This is all just a huge alcohol ad instead. Wow. Oh, we are so anti-cancer that we give people cancer. New strategy.
Imagine alcohol being compulsory at a cancer prevention charity event. They thought it was synonymous with class. So blinded by image, didn't see what it could mean. It's like throwing a fundraiser for lung cancer and Marlboro is your primary sponsor.
Yes! Yes, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. It's like being collecting donations for lung cancer or against lung cancer, and your sponsor is like Marlboro or like a company selling e-cigarettes or vapes or anything like that. Same energy.
Everyone must puff a Marlboro cig in this event. Do you hear me? They're the sponsors. I don't care if this is about lung cancer. They're the sponsors. they're gonna be very upset. They don't see you smoking tar into your lungs. Do you understand me? Do not upset my sponsors. Take this cigarette, but it's a lung cancer. Shut up and puff. So they obligated people to hold these champagne glasses. Of course, people got tipsy. Some guests went stumbling through the lobby, which again, not the vibe you want for your cancer awareness gala. Some of the stars, perhaps aware of the absurdity, chose to toast with water. The boys of Stray Kids and Jessie, the internet discreetly applauded them for that. Either way, W Korea had managed to turn what was meant to be a health event into what looked like a VIP club after party. That was just the drinks. Because when the stage lights lit up, it got even worse. On the main stage, attendees...
How can it get worse? Okay, there was the lingerie thing, but how can it get worse?
We're preparing for the highlight of the night. Exclusive musical performances that, in theory, were meant to inspire hope and solidarity with those affected by breast cancer. Reality would take an even wilder, more out-of-touch turn than the champagne. Jay Park's a performer.
Ballad of the Chest Twins. Where is this going?
He's got hit.
So, yeah, okay, that's what he means. That's what he means. That's what he means. Goodness gracious.
He's got stages. He's got a full catalog of songs that do exactly what they're meant to do. Get a crowd hyped. Right? Music for the club. So when you give him...
Goonfest. This is a goonfest. This is a goon fest. I get it.
Him a mic and a stage, well, he's gonna do what he does best. You know, he's gonna perform the songs that made him Jay Park. The problem is where he was performing them. This was not a club. It was not a summer festival. It was not a fashion after party. This was a breast cancer awareness gala. And the song, it was Mommy, which means body.
Shake that ass for me.
So the Korean version of Shake That Ass For Me. How can it... Okay, this video is still 12 more minutes. Over 12 more minutes, okay? How can it literally get worse? Jay Park, oh no, he's popular for his suggestive dances, air humping, blah, blah. Hey, at least the breast cancer girlies can feel turned on while dying, I guess.
Nothing raises awareness like shaking your ass for a tune. The song lyrics were like, I'd like to meet your twins. Yeah, the ones on your chest.
Maybe he wants to meet them so he can, like, use his healing hands to massage the cancer right out of them. Maybe it's that, you know? Maybe it's that. Maybe he wants to do that. Massage the cancer right out of the titties, the yiddies, the badonkers, the conkers.
Or, I'm curious about the taste of those peaches and melons.
What the fuck, bro? It's so over. It's so over.
All natural. This might have been the one time, by the way, breasts were mentioned in this event. In this breast cancer awareness. You're done. You're done. But imagine being a woman or a person. I say woman because women are disproportionately more affected by breast cancer. Someone in the audience, someone watching the event, okay, that had gone through breast cancer. Someone who had to potentially get their breast removed due to the complications of the disease, the tumor. Someone who'd gone through chemo.
And somebody starts singing about natural tits. And how he wants to touch him. Yeah, well, this didn't go too... This is not going too well. I must admit, this is not going too well. This is not the direction I think they were planning. Or maybe they were exactly planning. Again, it's not against cancer, it's to get cancer.
Imagine that person hearing this. I'd like to meet your twins. Yeah, the ones on your chest. Twins. Of all the dirty songs you could have picked even. For guts, come on! Curious about the taste of these peaches and all natural. A lot of cancer patients opt for cosmetic surgery to bring back the breast they lost. You can't be for real. It's not just awkward, it's out of touch in a way that makes you wince. This isn't about Jay Park being problematic. No, he performed his music the same way he always does. Responsibility falls on the organizers, the W Korea team that listened to these lyrics and thought, that's the one, it's the perfect fit. you know, for tonight.
Sorry, but I kind of think, while yes, the organizers are responsible, you have to have a brain. And sure, all your looks have probably taken out the brain, but I feel like you have to have a brain still and realize that if you would perform there, that this would cause backlash. Like, use your, even then, use your brain. Even then, use your brain. You would realize that you would not fit there if they invited you. There's not still fault, because I would have at least cut out the sexual movements. I don't know. Feels weird.
A night meant to honor people fighting breast cancer. It's not Jay Park's fault that his song wasn't written for cancer patients. It's W Korea's fault that thought it was an appropriate fit in the first place. That stage was diabolical. Doesn't stop there. Halfway through the show, on the giant screen behind the stage where images alluding to the fight against cancer, the stories of breast cancer patients.
And then in the background, they're running these pictures and the music is playing and they talk about touching big old yiddies. What the actual fuck? What were they doing? What were they thinking?
Should have been projected. We instead see W Korea's past campaign videos, accompanied by clips of models in...
Never mind, it's models in lingerie at this point.
Sexy underwear. Y'all missed the plot. One of them shows a woman in lace lingerie. People didn't like it. They thought it was tasteless. Somebody said this isn't a solidarity campaign. It's a vanity show. It's not about the awareness anymore. It was about putting on a show. No matter how tone deaf that show turned out to be. The irony does not stop there. Sit down, please. You're gonna need to sit down.
I don't want to sit down. I'm gonna stand up again. Hi dear, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. I'm standing up again. I don't want to sit anymore. I want to get away from here.
While the crowd was twerking for awareness, the donations were basically non-existent. Which brings us to the next part of the story. This bit's uglier. So, let's talk about the money, or lack of. W Korea.
They used the money to pay for the gala. That's what I believe. They used the money to pay for the gala. That is what, in my opinion, fits most and seems to be the most accurate situation. Yo, this is just creative clash all over again.
Said we had donated 1.1 billion Korean won over the last 20 years. That is roughly $775,000. Okay, they're very proud to have contributed $35,000 a year for the last 20 years. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. But with all the sponsors, the outfits, the math is not mathing. 1.1 billion. That statement was on their website. Now it's gone. Quickly removed when Representative Lee Soo-jin from the National Assembly officially requested donation data from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. Guess what she found? Between 2007 and 2024, W Korea's direct donations to the Korea Breast Health Foundation totaled 315 million won. It's about $220,000. You said 700,000? $220,000 in 20 years. Some years there weren't even any donations at all. 2008, 2009, 2017 through 2023, zero. Nothing. Not even a symbolic donation. So that's an average of $15,000 a year if you're not counting the gap years. If you are, the past 20 years, that's $11,000 a year. That's less than what you pay in your fiscal contribution.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. So basically the money, there is no money. Money? There's no money. There has never been any money. It doesn't exist.
Contributions every year. That's their fundraiser. My school bake sale used to raise more money than that every year. $10,000 is, let's be honest, less than their individual outfits at the event. One Hermes clutch at the entrance table. Bam, $10,000. All that fun, the party, the drinks, the music, put all that aside. Who cares, really? I don't care. They're raising for charity, right? Wrong! That's what's nuts. But W Korea insisted that Representative Lee is misunderstanding. When adding the omitted corporate and individual donations, as well as the 3 years of contributions to the Population Health and Welfare Association, the total cumulative amount is $960 million, blah, blah, blah.
It's just like, the money is completely misplaced. The money is just completely gone. That's pretty much what it is. The money is gone. Acknowledged, dear. Acknowledged, rare one.
They said the total amounts to $1.1 billion. They insist. Those records that she saw didn't include their sponsors, who also donated. It was just direct W Korea donations. So with their direct contributions and their sponsors included, it came to about $100,000 for this year. Cool. Let's compare that to another gala. Huge stars, massive brands. Let's compare this to the Met Gala. Obviously, the Met Gala is a lot bigger. How much bigger? In 2025, the Met Gala raised $31 million in that year alone.
That is significantly more, yes.
Not that noble of a cause in comparison. Really, it was for the Museum of Art's Costume Institute. $31 million and $100,000. Again, I know the Met Gala is a lot bigger, but Love Your W wasn't your local county's harvest festival. Love Your W was also a big event. All that glam, these celebrities, those outfits, those massive brands. All of this. And they raised enough to maybe cover the...
Also, don't you usually invite celebrities to these events, so even the celebrities donate? I thought that is usually the case. I guess here that it was not the case.
Treatment for 3 cancer patients if the treatment costs were on the higher end.
So they collected enough for 3 people, potentially. Wow. Absolute abysmal dog shit.
Treatment costs in Korea go from $7,000 to $30,000. I assume the more expensive treatments are the ones that would need more financial help. It's still great that you've raised and are helping at the very least 3 cancer patients. The potential in an event like this just feels like it should be a lot bigger, you know, of an impact. I don't know. Is their goal really to help cancer patients and cover their treatment expenses? Is that what their goal really is? Or is there something else and we're just donating enough for a certain reason? It gets even worse. The company's CEO, also the magazine's editor-in-chief, sits on the board of Korea Breast Health Foundation.
It just gets worse every second! Don't trust celebrities' donations. Still, usually invite people so they donate as well. And that wasn't the case. Not only that, the guy that essentially is responsible for cancer treatment is the CEO. It just gets worse.
The same foundation that receives the donations from her company, right? So the person writing the checks is also the person approving the checks? Yes. We call that vertical integration for tax write-offs. So not only did their event really exaggerate the impact of their numbers, it basically turned a charity into a marketing credit reel. Now, I don't know, I'm not their accountant, but arguably, they raised millions in sponsorships, and glam, and product placement. All these incredibly famous faces. Dyson, the Moet champagne, designer brands left, right, and center. Only a fraction of that ever made it to the patients. They raised less than what a couple of them outfits combined would cost. That should piss people off.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Why even do it at that point? You might have well just not done it. He might as well just have not done it. Then we got noticed by Ref. Yeah, I've seen that. And the other guy, he absolutely destroyed Hassan Piker on Twitter, which is diabolical. How do you get one guy by an account that is sub 1,000?
Okay, y'all can drink, get party, do what you want, but like, at the very least, okay, let the donations that you're pretending, like y'all, if you wanted to have a party, just call it a party. Y'all don't need to like hide behind it. Charity, it's a charity. Can we have fun? No, that's not necessary, y'all. If you want to have fun, have fun. Don't call it a charity when it's not. It looks like a tax write-off to me, you know? That's what should piss people off. Not what she was wearing. Did you see what he was wearing? Shame.
Blame the guests, so the guests were blamed as well. Yeah, sure, don't mess with Dyson. You're gonna die, son. We got a comedian here.
You got people losing their minds.
Over somebody's underwear strap.
Wait, so people are losing their minds of the women dressing like whores? Okay. That's currently not the goal. That's currently not the goal. Dude, there's more important things than women dressing half naked. How about you go after W Korea because they are starting events that what's the word? Are essentially pointless.
That said, yes, attendees have a social responsibility going to a charity fundraiser.
No, this was a party masked as a charity event.
Only a handful of artists really tried to restore some dignity to this event. The girls of Addit took a moment to talk about the importance of health and early detection. Thank God some Ray from IV or IVE, don't know how to pronounce it, also an exception. Later in a live broadcast, she shared how she tried to get educated before the event on breast cancer.
인식이 중요한 것 같아요. 그래서 저도 옛날에 아팠던 적이 있으니까 다른 아픔이었지만 등 고통이고 그래서 좀 더 인식이 좋아.
We got it. It seems like we have one person with a brain. It's about OnlyFans. Fuck OnlyFans.
줬으면 생각했어요. 공부해왔거든요. 어색하니까.
You know, having gone through complications herself, health complications in the past. Some left early, didn't feel like it was appropriate. That's reasonable and it's socially responsible. Some toasted with water, such as members of Stray Kids, as to not be considered.
Which is also very based.
Considered promoting a potential cause to breast cancer at a breast cancer event. But lots of the rage online is at the attendees. And I get that. You got people who are really big fans of these celebrities, and seeing them partake in an event so negatively perceived, like it pisses someone off, especially considering Korean society. Korean society is harsh, judgmental, and collectivist in nature, which means the Koreans have a constant pressure to be considerate. It's a society where group harmony is prioritized, which makes the whole thing being that out of touch a little weirder. But the real direction of our questions should be at the hosts, the raisers, that's fundraisers without funds. W Korea. Look at all this. After days of silence, completely wiping out
El Korea. They should rename themselves to El Korea, because that's exactly what it is. A huge, ginormous, humongous L.
out all possible traces of their event on their Instagram, deleting videos, locking comments. W Korea finally broke the silence. They posted a public corporate apology on October 19th, World Breast Cancer Day.
We deeply apologize for failing to consider the perspectives of breast cancer patients and their families in our breast cancer party. We take this feedback very seriously, and we will reflect deeply.
You feel that? The corporate empathy? Oh.
Yeah, this sounds more like a YouTube apology. This could have been written by Logan Paul after the what was it? Crypto Zoo scam? Same energy.
It's so cold. At the end of the day, the point isn't that W Korea threw a party. No, it's how they threw it. Because fun and awareness are not enemies. Okay, they're not incompatible. Nobody's saying that people at a charity gala should sit in silence and cry into their soup and refuse to smile. No, you can celebrate, you can laugh, you can dance, hell, you can even have a drink. The problem starts when the fun becomes the focus and the cause becomes the prop. When a night that's supposed to raise awareness, honor survivors, ends up solely promoting luxury brands. When champagne is mandatory at an event about breast cancer. Because they're the sponsor! When the only time the word breast got mentioned was in a dirty song lyric. Because then it stops being about awareness. It becomes aesthetic awareness.
I would rather call it a mockery, but who am I to judge? This entire thing feels more like a mockery of breast. Like if I was a breast cancer patient, formerly or current, I feel like I'd feel mocked. I'd feel mocked.
How good charity looks on a company.
W Korea, you guys are so charitable. Every year you have this party for breast cancer. You guys are too good.
Listen, just because it was October you felt obligated, throw a Halloween party instead. Since you're not donating much anyway. Just kidding. I mean, a little is good still, right? It's just the scale, it just feels off. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, having fun at a charity gala is not wrong, but that fun has to live in harmony with the message, not overshadow it. It's a matter of balance and sensitivity. People can laugh, dance, and drink, as long as the purpose stays clear, and most importantly, the money transparent. Share your thoughts down in the comments below, guys.
I don't know what his problem is. The money is transparent. When something doesn't exist, it is transparent. Because it's not visible. Ah!
Guys, let me know, what are your thoughts on this? I'm a little bit weirded out about the money thing because the event had a purpose. It's their yearly charity event. It's their yearly awareness fundraiser. So
If you go down the deep end and you go down the rabbit hole, you might find that every event that they have done so far is a scam.
you're seeing all these people, all these brands, but you're not seeing much of the money. Is everybody just not paying anything? Is that what it is? Are the sponsors not paying? What are they doing? That's wild, you know? Transparency. That's what will fix this. Obviously, the behavior was weird, right? From a couple of the people that were there. But that money thing dwarves everything else, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? Share them down in the comments below, guys. That's pretty much it.
I'm gonna go. We have the dementia disco thing. Are you
Dementia disco. Duck used all of his above average IQ German brain. Fuck you.
going like this? You're supposed to be dressed for dementia disco.
Anyways, El Korea. I think it's time. You need a name change. I think El Korea seems like a pretty fitting choice. I wonder if you really go down the rabbit hole, it just comes out that none of them are in fact actual real donations, and they never really collected anything, and they just filled their own pockets. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.